Murdered in cold blood. Mahdi Paramount Chief Livio George assassinated in Imole. Ripping the petrodollars, 10 million barrels of country's crude oil now consumed in the international market. And going autonomous, Parliament commenced debate on the Parliamentary Service Commission bill. Hello and welcome to South Sudan Television. I'm glad to be back into the system after a long, rejuvenating and soul-searching break. History is always written for those who chose the righteous path. I'm Grang John. Let's take a look at our news bulletin tonight. President Salva Kiir Mayadi today held talks with the Minister of Interior Abyei on the security situation in the country. The meeting comes amid rising insecurity in the country, the latest being the assassination of the Mahdi Paramount Chief Livio George in Nimole last night. More in the following report.
Today in his office met the Minister of Interior Abyei on the security situation in the country. The talks centered on the Juba security situation and efforts being put in place by police to curb insecurity across the country. The meeting, however, came amid fears of rising insecurity, the latest being the assassination of the Mahdi Paramount Chief in Nimule last night.
On the general security situation in the country, and to brief him on the situation in the Ministry of Interior with all its institutions as to the security. I also briefed him of the death of the Paramount Chief of Mahdi in Nimule last night.
Speaking after the talks, the minister called for calm in Nimule as police combed the area to ascertain the circumstances that led to the cold blood murder.
Immediate members of the late chief and all the citizens of Nimule that the ministry is not going to leave any stone unturned. We have already ordered all the security organs to go after this culprit and will bring him to book. So we request you all to remain calm and do not take law into your hands, because the law is already there, and we hope within a few days to come we will get those who are behind this heinous crime.
President Kiir also held talks with the board of directors of the Central Bank of South Sudan on efforts being taken by the bank to regulate the country's currency flow.
And we are at the board of Bank of South Sudan, and we took the decision as a board of the Bank of South Sudan to brief the president about the activities of the bank and to share with him important issues that are related to the functions of the central bank. Apart from that, and that is number one, was also to congratulate the president and to encourage him on all the achievements he has been making and his government since the time of the CPA and the time of independence of this country.
Vice President James Wani Iga today met the governor of Upper Nile State, Simon Kunpoch. The governor, who is in Juba to seek assistance for flood victim in his estate, commended the vice president for his appointment, assuring him of support from the people of Upper Nile.
We need to congratulate him for his appointment as Vice President of our Republic. And as I know, and you all know, Comrade James Waniga is not a new person to the movement, to the SPLM. He has been, ever since the vice chairman of the SPLM. And I think this new position is not new to him, as somebody who has been in the system for a very long time. I congratulated him for this, and I hope he will take our country forward. As he's a man of work, he has to work hard to unite our people so that we fall together and build this nation.
The Parliament today commenced debate on the Parliamentary Commission Bill, which seeks to put in place a statutory autonomous body that will manage the affairs of the National Assembly. The motion initiating the debate was moved by Deputy Chairperson of the Specialized Committee, Anthony Gudos. The bill has now been forwarded to the Committee of Justice for further scrutiny. Jackie Daru has more to that story.
Parliament has commenced debate on the Parliamentary Commission Bill, which will put in place an autonomous body to manage the affairs of the National Assembly. Initiating debate, the Deputy Chairperson of the Specialized Committee, Anthony Kudos, said the bill opened up an era of accountability, transparency, and gives the National Assembly powers to determine its own affairs. The bill has been forwarded to the Committee of Justice for further scrutiny before being readable in the House within the next 3 days. The House also discussed Labour Bill 2013, the establishment of legal support, and the Universal Treaty of Child Rights for the 1989. All the 3 bills were referred to the various committees for fine-tuning before they undergo the second reading. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Manas Magog, held talks with the Governor of Upper Nile, Simon Kun, who is in Juba. The Governor used the occasion to lobby for support from the National Assembly for floods victims in his state who are in need of relief assistance.
A range of issues concerning the activities of our states, our assembly there, activities, and also the security in our areas, in our states, and also the flood which is now affecting our states. We will also discuss that, and the assistance that can be taken to those counties. We have discussed it also, and we have also discussed certain issues concerning the operation here in the Parliament, how the Parliament is going to work, improving the participation of our members of the Parliament, and also the members of Parliament to go to our states who are also represented here.
The Speaker, who held talks with a delegation from the Malay community in Pibor led by Chief Ismail Konyi, who had paid him courtesy calls. The Speaker called on renegade theologian David Yao Yao to respond to the presidential amnesty and lay down the arms for the sake of national unity. Jackie Darrow, Sstv.
Let's go for a short break and we'll be back with the rest of our news bulletin. The Chinese government has hailed positive steps taken by President Salva Kiir Mayardit and his Sudanese counterpart Omar Hassan al-Bashir to solve enemies giving and allow the country's oil continue flowing to the international market through Port Sudan. Speaking in a meeting with the Minister of Petroleum and Mining, Stephen Dao, the Chinese ambassador to the country, Mark Yang, said the new gesture will no doubt lead to a leap in the economic development of the two countries. Malwar Makwach has more of that story.
The government has commended the steps that were taken by President Salva Kiir and his Sudan counterpart Omar al-Bashir to iron out any misunderstanding and avoid the country oil shutdown from accessing the international market. The Chinese government, which invested millions of dollars in the country infrastructure, says the two countries will benefit a great deal from the oil revenue, something that will change the lives of the people of the two countries drastically.
It's about the cooperation between the two countries, the Republic of South Sudan and the People's Republic of China. China is a major investor in terms of FDI, foreign direct investment. Now can be accounted as the number one in FDI, Republic of South Sudan. China is supporting South Sudan. There are a number of technical support for us. They are offering the Ministry of Petroleum, Mining and Industry a grant. This can be the best practical system in the area of mining, that they will be conducting a geological survey supporting the geological mapping in the Republic of South Sudan. And this is good news as we are now preparing to kick off the implementation of the Mining Act.
Speaking in a meeting with the Minister of Petroleum, Sstv, Chinese ambassador to the country, Mark Kao, says his country will always stand by South Sudan in her endeavor to be at par with the other countries in the region.
And very good relation with South Sudan and encourage a lot of Chinese expresses and companies to join the development of South Sudan. Just now we are exchanging the views about how to enhance this cooperation and find the way to encourage Chinese companies and the express and the banks come to South Sudan to join this development. Of course, as a new ambassador here, I will do my best. I will try my best to push forward this very good relation, very close our friendship and ties with South Sudan. Inshallah, I believe that we have a very bright future in
According to Stephen, the country has already exported 10 million barrels of crude oil and paid Khartoum $240 million US as a transit fee.
We also discussed the cooperation in a broader manner, that China wanted to give a loan to the Republic of South Sudan, 1 billion to 2 billion through the Exim Bank of China. We are negotiating the terms of that loan, which will be channeled basically to finance major infrastructure projects like roads, electricity, and also agriculture, and investment in the potential industries.
The minister says the country is in the process of opening a new block in Tor Unity State, which will produce 5,000 to 8,000 barrels per day. Reporting for Sstv News, I'm Emmanuel Malwal.
We apologize for the poor quality of that report. Close to 27,000 people have been displaced by the ongoing floods across the country. The Relief and Rehabilitation Commission says the most affected areas are in need of urgent relief assistance, including medication. Areas that have been worst hit include Northern Bahr el Ghazal, Unity, Upper Nile, Warrap and Jonglei states. Jena Wadia has more to that story.
The Relief and Rehabilitation Commission says over 27,000 people have been displaced by floods across the country and are in urgent need of relief assistance, including medication. The commission is pointing out Northern Barghazal, Unity, Upper Nile, Warab and Jonglei states as areas which have been most affected. The chairperson of the commission, Peter Lam, wants efforts to mitigate the floods scale up, pleading with concerned parties to move east and assist the displaced. The head of the UN OCHA in South Sudan, Vincent Lelay, says his team is facing logistical challenges due to the poor road infrastructure in assessing those marooned by the floods.
United Nations and NGOs and RRC taking leadership of the whole response and assessments have been going to the affected areas where access is possible. The big challenge is that access is a big challenge to get to where the people are. Where access has been obtained, all those partners are working together to provide food, health assistance, non-food.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Governor of Warab State, Salva Chol, toured areas in Awil West County that were adversely affected by the floods.
The area of Odum and then near Wedwill to be Rangon to be flooded because the water has crossed the road going this way. So this situation, if we were to remain in the office there, we would have not got this information. So our coming here is we are proceeding to Achana, to Awil West, the farthest place where there is work being done there by the company. So we need to see what is happening there and then the destruction made by these floods, such that we have to be in solidarity with you together.
Sol directed a local company involved in road construction in the state to speed up the work and do quality job. For Sstv News, I'm Jane Awadia.
Abyei region is quickly running out of shelters as dozens flock the area in anticipation for the referendum vote slated for October this year. The co-chair of the Abyei Joint Oversight Committee, Edward Lino, said locals are ready for the exercise that will determine the final status of the disputed region. According to the African Union, Abyei region should hold a referendum in October this year to decide whether to be part of Sudan or South Sudan. James Arusi Atanga has more to that story.
Locals from Abyei region are flocking the area to register for the referendum vote scheduled to take place in October this year. The area is quickly running out of shelter as dozens return to prepare for the whole exercise that will officially determine the fate of Abyei both politically and administratively. The co-chair of Abyei Joint Oversight Committee, Edward Lino, said locals are ready for the exercise and it's upon the organizers of the referendum to prove their word.
In Ethiopia alone, we have 400 coming back to Abyei. In Uganda, the women alone are 200 and something, 224. In Khartoum, there are many people coming. In Cairo, we have over 600, 700 people coming. In the United States, we have people coming. In Canada, we have some people coming. In Australia, there are people coming. And here in all the towns, there are people coming. They are facing the problems of tents, and accommodation is the number one problem right now. The second, although the situation is a bit okay, the new harvest is almost coming out, and fish is in abundance, and people, the livelihood of people is not as expected to be worse than what we expected.
Lino said the relation between the people of Abyei and the communities from Sudan are cordial, except for the few cases.
People of the north we live together. They are our people. We have no enmity with the people as such. The enmity was with the governments. The governments in the north were always governments led by this type of people who are leading the government now. And they have no manners to respect whatever the agreements that were made between them and the people.
According to the African Union, Abyei region should hold a referendum in October this year to decide whether to be part of South Sudan or be part in Sudan. Sstv, I'm James Arusatan.
Well, we'll keep you updated on the latest from Abyei as the region gears up for the referendum this year. Traffic police have banned heavy commercial vehicles, including motorcycles, from plying the routes leading to the presidential palace and the government ministries during working hours. The move, according to the police, is to decongest the road and allow smooth movement of government officers and the head of a state convoy. This and more stories in our news roundup.
Traffic Police Department has banned heavy commercial vehicles, including motorcycles, from plying the road leading to the presidential palace and ministries during working hours. The move is geared towards decongesting the road and allow smooth movement of government officers and the head of state convoy. The Administrative Director of Traffic Police, Major General Mayom Deng, called on motorists to abide by the directive. While in Lake State, the caretaker Governor, General Maturichud, officiated to hand over more than 500 cows as a compensation of 98 people who were killed during the tribal clashes between Kui and Rook tribes. Matur said the balance of more than 1,000 cows will be handed over to the families of the victims next Saturday.
بالنسبة لزول قتل زول في شغلة بدفع 30 بقر. بالنسبة لزول قتل ناس زول لقوه ماشي في الشارع ساقط برضو بدفع 51. عشان كده ده بداية بتاع أبو غار بتاع دية. الناس اللي كان قتلهم كله كان 98 شخص. Reporting
for SSTV, I am Fernanda Polmache.
Well, that brings us to the end of our news bulletin tonight. On behalf of SSTV crew in the studio, I'm Grant John saying good night and good luck.